Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with all of you a moment that I experienced towards the end of the summer that Deanna and I were spending in Jerusalem. We spent several summers in Jerusalem when I participated in a rabbinic program. And that summer, which was several years ago, I had taken a folder of little notes that one of our religious school class had written, notes that contained prayers that they asked me to put in the kotel for them, which is, of course, a very beautiful custom. On the very last morning, I took that folder and I left our apartment and I started to walk briskly to the kotel, which took about half an hour. The kotel was pretty quiet at that hour. People were chatting and some groups were praying. I put the notes in. I said a final prayer for that summer at the kotel for myself. And one of the things I prayed for was that the beautiful and heartfelt prayers of our children would get to the place that they needed to go. And then I walked back to our apartment, and then we prepared to leave. But I left out one important part of the story. On my way, which was shortly before 7 a.m. in the morning, I passed the small grocery store that I had gone into many times during the summer. And I saw the owners of the store and the people who were working there. And I wished them Boker Tov, good morning, and they wished me Boker Tov, as we had said to each other and greeted each other during the summer. I can't explain it exactly, but as I was saying to them Boker Tov for the last time that summer, I got a little bit emotional. I thought to myself, soon I'm going to be at the kotel, which is so powerful and so important. But these people who wake up each and every day, who open up their store in Yerushalayim and run their store, that's also very powerful and very important. We speak a lot about unusual places and celebratory days, but I want to say a word this morning in praise of regular places and ongoing dedication day after day. We celebrate the kotel, we celebrate the holidays, we celebrate high points, but we also need to celebrate opening up the store and showing up at work and showing up at school and taking care of our obligations day after day. This morning's Torah reading speaks about the extraordinary, the Shemitah year. Every seventh year, the land would rest and debts would be canceled, and it would be Shabbat Ladonai, a rest for God's sake. But the Torah describes the years leading up to that as follows. Sheish shanim tizra sadecha, v'sheish shanim tizmor karmecha. 6 years you will sow your fields, and 6 years you will prune your vineyard and gather the crops. The sowing and the pruning and the tending of the land for the first 6 years is as important as letting go of the land during the seventh. Ladies and gentlemen, the Torah values work. It values effort. It values ongoing dedication. Shabbat only makes sense if we work the rest of the week. The Shemitah year only makes sense if we lovingly tend the land with ongoing dedication day after day. I recently commemorated the Yartzeit, the Sal, for my beloved father. His name was Harold. My mother called him Heshi, that was her nickname, and his Hebrew name was Tzvi. I have to admit that when I was a teenager, I sometimes wondered why his life wasn't more exciting. Every day he got up, he left the house at 6 o'clock, he drove an hour to work, and then he came back by 6 o'clock, he had dinner, he hung out, he watched sports, he enjoyed theater. On Shabbat, we went to the synagogue together. I sat next to him week after week at the synagogue, and I have a really strong memory. When we got up to Shema Yisrael and the quiet part after it, where we recite the words that are in the Torah about tefillin and about tzitzit, he would say every word, and he would not look up until he had recited each and every word. Many people finished before he did. Maybe they said every word, maybe they didn't. I'm not here to judge. But my father said every word. Now, to be clear, he had fun. He had a great sense of humor. He danced at our simchot. He laughed and he cried. I love all of these things about him, But one thing I've come to love more and more as I get older is his ongoing dedication, day after day, word after word. What I thought of as maybe not being so exciting when I was younger is actually such an essential and important part of being a decent and honorable human being. A few days ago, my phone rang, and it was a long-standing member of our congregation calling from the hospital. He said to me, "Rabbi, I am certain that I am going to be in the hospital during my mother's yahrzeit. She died in 1990, and I have always come to the minyan to say Kaddish. I have not missed a year. What should I do?" And I said to him, "You should say Kaddish in the hospital." And I told him that I would call him the night of the yahrzeit, and we would say the Kaddish together, which we did. We celebrated this morning with a bat mitzvah who is going to remember this morning as a high point in her life. But we will also remember that day in and day out, this is someone who works hard, who brings creativity and imagination to her work and to her play. This morning, I opened up the paper and I saw that on the first page of the paper, the front page, there was an article about a woman who was 92 years old, who survived the Shoah, and she's a piano teacher. And she gets incredible joy out of teaching piano to her students. And she said, "I want to teach them the importance of work." And right now, because of the situation, she's teaching them virtually, but she doesn't miss a lesson if she can help it. Day after day, she demonstrates her ongoing dedication, and she encourages her students to engage in ongoing dedication. There is holiness in regular places, and there is holiness in ongoing dedication, in sewing and pruning and practicing the piano and opening the store and commuting to and from work and reciting all the words. Every day we say, "Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam." We will sanctify God's name in the world. I wish strength, yishar koach, chazak uvaruch to all, and I honor the memory of all who day after day, through ongoing dedication, bring God's holiness into the world. Shabbat Shalom.